what I want to do is go through and show you how to get a wholesale deal, ready for this, without ever cold calling or texting. Now, doesn't mean that those methods don't work, but honestly, I think we talk about that like overly like crazy. So what I want to do today is we're going to take the first part. I'm going to walk you through them, and then we're going to have some time. And if you guys want to jump on, you want to connect with me, just raise your hand. We'll do a one-on-one. And let's have fun, man. It's Friday night. It's the last day of February, the short month. Man, what a very interesting day for multiple reasons. And let me make sure in the comments here. Awesome. So you guys can hear me, right? Everybody hear me? Okay. So loud and clear. Awesome. So Zach took the night off, so I am Dad. I'm Rick. So I've been wholesaling. I'm going on 23 years. Honestly, there's not much you can throw at me that I haven't seen. So yes, there's a lot of new stuff going on, and we want to share all that stuff. And we've beaten cold calling and texting to death. So I'm going to go a little bit kind of old school here, and we're going to do some modern ways. And if you have a suggestion, put it in the chat box. And if you're brave enough and you want to come on here and talk, by the way, we talk all about wholesaling here. You got a question, if you want to work on a deal, that's awesome. I love to do that. Or if you want me to get in your head and just kind of shake it. So I'm going to tell you to do the hard stuff. Don't be a wimp and get it done. So let's get into it. How do we find deals without cold calling and texting? Because I bet 95% of you, that's predominantly what you do. Now, I get it. There's some limitations when you do this virtual, which I get it. A lot of you do it. For the record, when I started wholesaling, we weren't smart enough to do it virtual. So you guys are really smart, just like my son, and I want to share the technique. So the first one I'm going to share with you is just an old school way, and a lot of you guys just overlook them. And I'm here to tell you, it still works today. Now, there's a little secret you got to get around with it. So it's not cold calling. It's not texting. They're called physical bandit signs. Now, here's what you do. 18 by 24 white, go get them at a big box stores. If you find a sign dealer, like one of those little mom and pop shops, you can cut them a deal. We used to pick them up like $1 a sign. They're probably a little bit more now, probably $1.50, maybe even $2. And you get that. You get the sign. The next thing is you get those, those big giant Sharpie markers. You can get them at Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart. They're like $1.50, $2. Those are the key. Now, here's where everybody misguides you. They tell you to go out and buy 500 signs. You got to get them shipped. It's going to cost you over $1,000. Don't do it. You can go out for under $30. Did you hear me? Under $30 and put 10 or 15 signs together. And then here's what you do with the signs. Once you do that, you're probably saying, Rick, how do I stick in the ground? Dude, if I told you, I probably did 30,000 of these signs. I did so many, I bought an entire company to do them. I invested over $300,000 cash for the machinery to do it. Now, that was a while ago. I will tell you, we still do bandit signs. It still works. I don't do them. I pay other people to do them. 18 by 24. It's going to be 3 lines. Look at me, 3 lines. This is exactly how they need to say. Don't be the we buy houses guy. That line is played to death. For God's sakes, don't be the we buy ugly houses guy. That's even worse. Here's what you're going to do. Sell your house today. ! Line 1. You only get 3 lines. The rule of bandit signs, guys, I've printed hundreds of thousands of them, is never more than 3 lines, and you only print on one side, because the way they make these signs now is they're very translucent, and when the sun hits it, if you print on both sides, it bleeds through and you can't read the print. So line number 1, sell your house today. Line number 2, any condition, any situation. Dude, that covers everything. It's very general, but it covers it. Line 3 is your phone number with the area code. For God's sakes, use a local phone number. And make that phone number very big and bold, and make sure you use that big giant Sharpie marker. Now, I'm going to warn you. When you put these in the back of your car, if you have a truck, it's a hell of a lot better, but the markers do stink. Now, if you got professionally printed signs, they would use what they call a ultraviolet, a UV ink. It'll actually make you sick, and it's extremely toxic to your system. So I used to throw hundreds in the back of my minivan when Zach was about that big, and I actually got sick from it. So, but I don't want you to do that. You're going to do it with your own markers. Be careful. The markers will get you a little bit floating out there. So just put the windows down and air it out. Now, how do you put it in the ground? You can use a wooden stake. Honestly, that's the most expensive way. The other way is if you go to like Home Depot or Lowe's, they have those skinny little rebars, not the big rebars. They're all connected. They look like H's, and you can buy them in, I think they're like 4 or 5 foot packs, and you can cut them up and then just get a bolt cutter. Go to like a Harbor Freight, get a bolt cutter and just cut those. I know this is for you people doing it locally. Don't worry, we got plenty of other techniques to show you. Now, here's what you do. You have to put them somewhere where someone can drive by and take a picture of it. If they're going by at 45, 55 miles an hour, they can't take a picture of it. Don't do it. Next question, where do you put them? You put them around high traffic areas where they can slow down to under 10 miles an hour. Great places, Walmart. Oh my God, Walmart's, the amount of traffic coming in Walmart is unbelievable. Now, typically Walmart, they'll have some hedges at their sign when they go out. I like to put it right below that hedge line. And if the sign stays up all day, I am perfectly happy because that means thousands and thousands of people got exposed to it. Everybody understand that? Other places, Home Depots, Lowe's, I will tell you the Lowe's, they're pretty good about picking up the signs. But anywhere where there's high traffic, Target's another good one. But anywhere where a lot of traffic comes in and intersects, especially when people are going to buy anything for their homes. So you want them in populated areas. The next part is, I only do like 10 or 15 signs. Don't go out and put 100. You're wasting your time and your money. They're going to get knocked down. People are going to pick them up. Other wholesalers are going to steal them. You guys know how that works. And for that reason, put them. But what I want to do is I'll put it usually in like less than almost like a 500 square yard radius, like within a quarter of a mile, a half a mile. Why? Because it's what we call guerrilla marketing. If you got a bunch of signs, you go, man, that guy's got a lot of signs. Now, if you go, I have no idea where to put it, I'm going to give you the cheat show. There's 2 types of companies that love to put these signs out. There are mattress companies. My God, that is their primary source of business, and dating sites. Now, in the past, I've personally struck a deal with these companies to pair up and work together because in the beginning, they kept pulling my signs. I'm going to warn you, don't pull your competitor's sign. Don't pull like a dating or a mattress sign because you guys are just wasting effort. And that's it. Now, here's the key. Put on a virtual phone number. If you don't know how to get a virtual phone number, you probably shouldn't be in this Discord, but you can go online, get a virtual phone number. They're relatively very, very cheap, anywhere from $1.50 to $12 a month. Do not put your cell phone number on these. Remember, we're printing on one side. And here's the secret. I know this sounds like overwhelming information. When they call on the phone, answer it. How do you answer it? Hello, how you doing? Be a regular person. Don't be a professional business. For God's sakes, don't let it go to voicemail. And a little secret is Zach did a lot of deals while he was in high school with bandit signs. Now, I don't do bandit signs anymore because I have more code enforcement judgments against me and my companies than I ever care to reveal. And I have signed off on it and I can never do it again. See, the key is I can't do it, but I can get other people to do it for me. So if you're worried about, now I do tell you, sometimes in certain cities, it is illegal. Like I'm in Port St. Lucie, they'll actually write you a citation if they catch you doing it, and you have to appear in front of a court. I created that law. I'm guilty of it. If you go up to Palm Bay and Melbourne, same thing. Actually, Zach forced them to hire 3 full-time employees to counteract how many signs we put out. Why? Because it works. Now, when they call, answer your phone. Occasionally, you will get a code enforcement officer to call you. Here's the good news is, most of them are too stupid to follow through and figure out what they do. They try to bust you. They go, hey, I have a house for sale. Can you help me out? And just go through your qualification process. That's great. What's your name? They'll only give you a first name and they'll rarely give you an address, and then they'll tell you you're busted. And they tell you you're getting a $10,000 fine and we're going to come after you. If you have a virtual phone number, it's physically impossible to get it. So when you get these leads, make sure you vet them well so someone's not setting you up for a trap. But code enforcement employees are not that smart. They're really not that bright. So if you understand that, I want you to understand that. That's number one, guys. You guys overlook it. It works well. Now, on the other part, which you guys should be very versed at, is doing digital bandit signs. Digital bandit signs is the act of going on the internet and basically taking that sign and putting them in groups. Here's the secret to this. Don't spam. You know exactly what spamming is. I'm going to tell you guys know better than anybody. But you go in groups you're already organically in. So I'm in a lot of like fishing groups. If you're like a dog lover, a cat lover, if you like collectible cars, make sure you're in that group at least 90 days. Anything less than 90 days is suspicious. Give you an example. Wholesaling for Real, our Facebook group. On a daily basis, literally a daily basis, our company has to block 80 to 100 spammers. Why? They come in and what do they do right away? They post like 50 things. Hey, here's how you can get financially free. Here's the crypto you can get. Spam, and we just block them. You just waste your time. It's actually automatic. So people think they're highly effective and they're dumb as a rock. So I don't want you to do that. You have to have some organic connection to make this work. And what it says, and here's the other thing is with Chat GPT, with Grok, I like Grok. I think it's pretty good, but you guys you probably school me on all this stuff. Gemini, the Apple, all this other crap. You see Apple came up to their thing where they can work with photos. I thought it was kind of cheesy, but so you can have a dog holding a We Buy Houses sign. If you're in like a Georgia Bulldog fan club, you talk about how much you love the Georgia Bulldogs. And if you ever need help with buying a house or something like that, you can't just go in there and spam, even if you're organically in there. So those online, they do work. We have gotten over 30 deals doing it. So it works. And here's the good thing is it doesn't cost any money, but it is going to cost you effort and time. Everything I'm going to teach you is going to cost you effort and time. So guys, I'm showing you how, like a lot of you guys complain about cold calling and texting. I'm not saying to stop it, but add some other things to get it going. I'm telling you, the physical bandit signs and the digital bandit signs, they're impressive, but you got to work it. It's not going to work itself. It does require a lot of effort. So if this scares you like that, don't do it, period. So it's most importantly that you're organic. Now, the next one is the good old, I'm not going to miss this one. I mean, my God, it's the Rick Ginn show here. It's Flip with Rick. Dude, driving for dollars, still my favorite. Hands down. I don't need to tell you. I'm going to tell you anyways. You just drive around and you look for ugly houses. If you don't understand it or you can't grasp the concept, go to freewholesaling.com. I think me and Zach shot an 8-minute video in there and we go around and look for ugly houses. And then once we have those ugly houses, we basically look up the owner. You can skip trace, you can knock on the door, you can do whatever. Now, I said, see, we can't skip trace because I told you can't cold call them. So guys, you can just leave a note on the door or you can knock on the door. Which leads me to the next one. So driving for dollars, here's the value of driving for dollars. It is your list. Nobody else has it. And you're putting your eyes on distressed property. If you give me a list of 500 driving for dollars, like somebody went out and go, here's 500 ugly houses in the market that I take care of, which takes a lot of effort and it's valuable. If you gave me a list of 5,000 or 10,000 regular list, even if I could pull it from any software, I'll take the 500 every day over it. Why? Because it has a much higher probability. Do you really think people choose to have ugly houses? They don't. They just run out of money. Life happens. They get behind and they get stuck. And when they get stuck, that's when we want to help them out. An ugly house is just a symptom of the underlying problem of humans' issues. So driving for dollars is valuable. We still do it in our company. You just got to keep taking alternate routes and make sure they're in areas that actually make sense. Yes, you can do driving for dollars online. It's a little bit more challenging, but this group, you guys can handle anything online. You can figure out how to do it. You can use Google. You can use different softwares. I get a little sick looking at it. And I will give you a hint. coming up in the rest of 2025 through AI, hopefully through XLeads, we'll be able to integrate it. They're going to have software to scan images of all houses to find out what's ugly and what's not. Now, how you get that image, if it's from Google or some sort of satellite, that is somewhat of the problematic. It's a little pricey. There are softwares that do it, but they charge you like 2 to 4 cents per scan. And that's, to me, gets a little ridiculous. So driving for dollars, the most valuable one. If you guys hand it to me, that's how I do a lot of my JV deals with you guys. Because if I got an ugly house, if we can connect with the seller and get behind the story, we can do great wholesale deals. Nobody chooses to be that way. I guess some people choose to have ugly houses. I don't know why, but like it's just that's what people do on it. So the next one I would add on there is just reverse driving for dollars. So this is just the art of taking your government list. You can take a driving for dollars list, and then you basically get a route. You get all these houses. Now, maybe here's my 2 favorite to do this. Hands down. I promise you, if you can do this, you can find a deal if you stick to it. Code violations. It's when someone gets reported, either a code enforcement officer finds it, or more likely a Karen rats them out, and they get reported, and they've got 30 days to fix it. After that, they get a fine, and it's a per day fine, and it's very painful. And they don't make it easy to take it off there. Like if you mow the lawn on a high grass violation, you have to call back and reschedule an inspection, and they come out and like measure the grass. It's kind of a joke. But so take those government lists, code violations. The other one is tax delinquents. Tax delinquents are people who are behind on their property taxes. Now, my favorite list to get is 2 years or more behind. Why? Because the first year, a third of the people are just financing their taxes. I do it. I pay over $100,000 a year. Actually, a hell of a lot more than that. I don't know what I'm thinking. At least $180,000 a year in property taxes, just in my local area. And if you go to all my other properties across the country, I don't even know what the number is because I don't keep track of that stuff. But I manage a lot of the stuff I do in South Florida, and I have to wait the last minute because I have to write a check for it, and it's extremely painful. Now, sometimes I float the money till March. So that's what rich guys do. So I don't want you calling rich people. You're just wasting your time. Now, if you get 2 years behind, you got real problems, because then you can go to what they call a tax certificate sale. And then after X amount of years, depending on where you are in the country and what state, they could actually foreclose on you and auction the house off. So that's why I don't want you wasting people in the first year. The other part of the tax delinquency is make sure you're sticking at or below your average median price. Now, if you understand that, attack it. Now, get a route. This is the pain in the butt part, but technology is amazing. You can figure anything out you want. And once you do that, you go out there and you put a note on the door. And here's what I tell you, like, these notes are done to death. Get creative. Here's how you get people to engage you. Let me ask you, if I stuck a note on your door and said, I got a question for you, give me a call, and I put my phone number on there, and I put Rick, I bet a third of you here would call. Why? Because you're curious. And that's the key with reverse driving for dollars. Curiosity kills the cat, right? If you got a cat, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They can't stand it. You wave that little thing in their face, they're like, I got to swipe at it. All I want them to do is swipe at it. Once they contact me, my job is to engage them. Disqualifying means make sure they're the owner of the house and see if they have interest in selling, and then just qualify them as MCTP. If you want more information on how to do that, just go over to freewholesaling.com. Guys, it's not rocket science. Me and Zach have been telling you for the last, almost 5 years, I got a quick question about your house. Get creative. Think outside the box. If we all put the same notes on the houses, we look like idiots. So put your spin on it. Please don't say anything that's illegal, and please do not break the law. Don't offer money or anything like that. Get creative. I saw something, whatever it is. Just remember, he or she that engages the prospect wins. You have to do it legally and ethically. This is how I am a master at direct mail, because I understand people are so curious. You know why? Let me ask you this. How many people on here, if I called you right now and I hung up, what percentage of you guys would call me right back? Studies show over 68% of people will automatically call you back. You know why? Because they are so curious of who the hell is calling them. It's the same methodology with reverse driving for dollars. And remember, anything marketing, marketing is the number one skill set you can learn in all of wholesaling. So if you can understand how to master the marketing part, you can dominate in wholesaling. There's a lot of people trying to teach you right now that you don't need to do marketing. You can do PPC and PPL. If you want to pay $300 to $400 a lead and go broke because you're not going to make a lot of money doing that, I would never do that, ever. I've done PPL. You're lucky to break even or make 10%. You can get lucky. It's kind of like Vegas. You can buy like 5 leads and hit one out of the park. But if you buy 50 or 100 leads, the numbers are just they're going to plane out so much. There's a reason why they sell them to you at market price. And by the way, they sell them to everybody. It gets crazy. So I'm going to rip through these other ones a little bit faster because I want to get on and we can do some interactions. So come on, that's why you guys are here. That's the funnest part of it. So another one you guys are hugely missing are title companies. They are an absolute gold mine for deals. Number one, they know who the real buyers are in all your markets. They know who the serious wholesalers are. They know who the best real estate agents are. They know who the best hard money people are. They know who the best soft money is. Remember, I would say the average title company probably does 100 to 150 deals a month. Now, how long would it take you to do 150 deals? So they can go through 3-4 years of what would possibly take you if you're a really kick-ass wholesaler, and they can do it in 30 days. So why not share the wealth? By the way, I get probate deals from title companies. Now, you do have to form a relationship. You can't go in ice cold. And remember, whenever you're going to work with someone, what's the cardinal rule? You have to provide value first. You can't just take from strangers. How do you feel when someone comes up and goes, hey, can you give me $5? Can you give me $10? Like, no, get out of my face. Same thing. When people come up to me, hey, Rick, give me all your cash buyers. I'm like, what's in it for me? Why would I do that? Whereas if I'm new to wholesaling, it's like, Rick, how can I help you in your wholesale business? What could I do? I would do anything to do business with you. I tell you what, I'll give you 1,000 motivated sellers. I'll give you 1,000 leads. You find out who's motivated. If you can connect with them, I'll get on 3-way and we'll split the deal 50-50. Sound fair? Boom. That's what I want to do. I don't know what you guys are posting up there. I try to follow everything on here, but I'm old school, man. I just look right in the camera and I spew out my 23 years of knowledge. Okay, title companies, guys. There's deals that fall apart at the last minute that people have already moved out of the house. They already have a moving truck and they need the money. And if you know how to work with the title companies, they will share that information with you. So the next one, this one, I doubt many of you have heard. It's called estate sale companies. Now, it's usually the ladies that run these. I've never met one that had a guy in it yet. And I found these out by accident. I just decided to call them. They were in back in the day, they used to have like newspaper ads. I know that's like a lot of you guys are like, what? But they're on online ads now. Sometimes they're on that diner. If you go to like an old school diner, they're like printed on the things. But an estate company is basically, they usually help older people that have overcluttered their house, accumulated stuff. The kids have moved out, the attic's full, everything. And then they want to get rid of the stuff. And a lot of times these houses are outdated, they're old. And most of the time these houses need to be sold too. Now here's the key is I don't want anything to do with the estate sale stuff. You just give that to the estate sale company and said, listen, if you can give me a warm introduction and I can buy that house, I'll give you a referral fee, a marketing fee. Phenomenal guy. But listen, most estate sale companies don't know how to buy the house. And what I found is most of them were referring them to real estate agents. And a lot of the houses they were going to do, like they were not up to par for real estate agents. I'm talking about houses that had so much junk you couldn't even walk in them. So guys, estate sales is a phenomenal one. Now, another one that you guys often overlook is garage sales. And let me explain how this works to you. A garage sale, I'm not telling you to go to the garage sale and wholesale Pokemon cards, or what do they call the little beanie things back in the day? Now I'm really showing my age. or whatever you guys would do. What do they call the caricatures? I know Zach likes them a lot. I have no idea. You guys got to educate me. I'm old. But whatever's trading, people try to find the hot style with the Beanie Babies. There it is. Jason's got it. Okay, what's up, Jason? Jason, I got to talk to you. We are this close to getting that deal done, and I need you to check up on our South Carolina property. So, guys, by the way, you in the Southern Carolina market, hook up with Jason, dude. He's absolutely amazing. Real guy, does exactly what he says. He's pretty cool. So, but Jason, now you're showing my age, man. Jason's a lot younger than me, though. So, anyways, where was I back to? So, in the garage sales, so all you want to do is you don't physically go to the garage sales. Now, like a long time ago when I tried to go to the garage sale and buy the house. Complete waste of time. What I did is now garage sales are posted all online. There's like Facebook areas. In the old days, we used to scrape Craigslist. Really not ideal anymore. And sometimes there's county sites. Once you get those, you cross-reference them to your property appraiser site. Look up the owner and see if it's an absentee owner. Rick, how do I know it's an absentee owner? That's a great question. An absentee owner means they have a different mailing address, which usually signifies it's a landlord. Now, occasionally it's just a rich guy that owns another house that they vacation in, but predominantly most people have to get rental income to offset the expenses of the house. Excuse me. So the other thing is, where was I? Now I'm losing my train of thought. My ADHD is kicking in. Once you get that information, you find out it's an absentee owner. So when I first did this, I just sent them a little bit like a letter. You can even do a postcard. And I just stuck it in there. I said, hey, I see you're having a garage sale. Now, I will tell you, I'm going to cheat a little bit here and tell you, you can skip trace them and lightning call them. But either way, back in the day, I used to leave them a note. Don't leave a note on the door. Obviously, the renter's there. And when the guy goes, what do you mean there's a garage sale there? I go, yeah. He goes, damn it, they stopped paying the rent 2 months ago. I think they're doing a midnight move out on me. I go, listen, while you're there, the house looked a little rough. There was couches out there. Would you have interest in selling? Because it sounds like they're moving out, and it sounds like the property could be in rough shape. He goes, well, I got to wait till they get out of there. I got to go call my lawyer and get it done. I go, I tell you what, can I just get first shot at buying it? And what you did is you gave the landlord, you did him a favor by giving him intel in the house that nobody else gave to him. And it gives you a unique position to connect with them. Because let's face it, most landlords are kind of assholes. And by doing that, like, dude, you helped me out a lot. And I bought deal after deal after deal. And then we decided to do it. Now, back in the day, I would have a VA help me scrape the information. With AI and stuff, guys, you guys could do some serious. Guys, is the camera on? It's on for me. You just got to switch your camera on there. I'm looking at it. Okay. Anyways, just connect with them. The key is do not connect with the renter. It's a waste of time. And then December seems to be the best month for it because I guess it's like a midnight move out and that's it. So guys, don't overlook garage sales. Now, the next one we talk about, I'm going to talk about direct mail. And I do not recommend it as a starting strategy, not even close. But when you get a few deals, you can use it. If you want to learn more about that, just go over to our free wholesaling community and I'll teach you the whole damn thing for free. There is a strategy. People who tell you direct mail doesn't work means they don't understand how to do it. I've been doing direct mail for 20 years now. It's like clockwork for me. But I went through a lot of pain to understand it. And every market's a little bit different. It does take a good education. You got to commit in 90 days. Now, those of you on a tight budget, you can use direct mail. All you have to do is go get the probate list. And by getting the probate list, just send them a letter. And here's the best part. At freewholesaling.com, I give you the dang probate letter that works. Now, I want you to vary it up just a little bit because if you all send the same exact probate letter, we get busted. And if we do that, we want to fix that. So I'm telling you that works well. I'm trying to think of anything else. I'm probably missing a few of them, but like that gives you enough ideas to spark it. Now, I will tell you, it's hard to do this business without some form of cold calling or anything like that. And so listen, is anybody on here paying for skip tracing? For God's sakes, stop. Go over to xleads.com and just get the basic account. This skip tracing is included. And here's the best part. It's completely unlimited. And for those of you that pull the government list like we recommend you to do, code violations, tax delinquencies, pre-foreclosures, everything, you can upload them into XLeads and skip trace it. We are the only wholesaling software. Actually, forget wholesaling software. The only one that allows you to do that. Every one of them has a limitation. And there's companies that sell it for 3 to 12 cents a piece. Now, we've come a long way with it, but like XLeads, we're kind of leaving the crowd. So keep that on that. Like 12 cents a record's brutally expensive if you're going to do thousands. Like, it doesn't even make sense. So if you do the prepaid plan, maybe some of you guys like, it's not something stuck in my eye. If you partner up and you pay for it up there, it winds up being $49 a month. You can pull all your list. You get 15,000 leads you can pull, and you can do unlimited skip tracing. Try that with any other software. Nobody even comes close to offering it. So check that out. That's my pitch to you today, and that's it. Yeah, the one you're posting there, no, it's not included. You have to pay $100 for that one. Then you got to go pay for skip tracing. With XLeads, the whole thing's included. Guys, listen, XLeads is everything's inclusive in it. This is not an XLeads commercial. I'm getting off of this. I'm just letting you know. I've put everything I've had into it. Me and Zach have put everything we had into it because that's how we teach people wholesaling that really want to get serious about your business. But we got to get some deals. We got to get some money in our pocket. Let's get some deals. Then you can spend some money and invest it back in yourselves and start out. Software is like it's much better than hiring an employee right off the bat. So